It's no secret Sonic has a massive fan base within the autism community, and a lot of explanations about it focus on superficial reasons. People talk about the sensory appeal, the fast-paced gameplay, the endless amount of content, and sense of community, which are all true, but the bigger connection is often overlooked. What if I told you Sonic's appeal for neurodivergent people goes far beyond the surface? It's the very core of Sonic's character, his ideals, his philosophies, and his approach to the world that truly strikes a profound chord with autistic individuals. This is Mr. Fascinating, and in this video, let's explore the deeper reason autists love Sonic. At his core, Sonic the Hedgehog represents something that's often hard to put into words: freedom. He is the embodiment of living life on your own terms, moving forward without hesitation, and never letting anyone dictate who you should be. And for many autistic people who often feel constrained by a world that doesn't fully understand them, that message is deeply, profoundly inspiring. Autistic individuals frequently experience pressure to mask, to hide their natural behaviors, suppress their stims, and force themselves to conform to neurotypical expectations just to avoid standing out. Many autistic people spend their entire lives being told to act normal, to change the way they talk, to force eye contact even when it's uncomfortable, to stop info dumping about their interests, to move and behave in ways that feel unnatural to them. The world constantly tells them that they need to slow down, blend in, and be less weird. Sonic does the exact opposite. He moves at his own pace fast, without asking for permission or worrying about how others perceive him. He never stops to ask if he's too much, too loud, too energetic. He doesn't try to fit in because he doesn't need to. Sonic's freedom isn't just about rebellion. It's about the joy of being yourself. He doesn't see his individuality as a flaw. He sees it as his greatest strength. He's confident, carefree, and never ashamed of who he is. And that is an incredibly powerful message for autistic people who have spent their whole lives being told they need to change. The world tells you to mask. Sonic tells you to be yourself. Sonic doesn't hide who he is. He's confident, outspoken, and unafraid to take up space. He's the kind of person who laughs in the face of authority when it tries to control him. If someone tells him to slow down or follow the rules just because that's how it's supposed to be done, Sonic's first instinct is to question why. And if the answer is just because that's how it is, he rejects it entirely. For autistic people, who often struggle against rigid societal expectations that don't accommodate them, Sonic's defiance is validating. Many autistic individuals are constantly expected to suppress their natural instincts, whether that's being told not to stim in public, being forced to follow arbitrary social norms that don't make sense, or being made to feel like their way of thinking is wrong just because it's different. Sonic's entire philosophy says, different isn't wrong, it's just different. He doesn't just accept his own individuality, he celebrates it. He doesn't need to be like everyone else, and he doesn't want to be. And more importantly, he extends that same acceptance to others. He never tells his friends to change. He doesn't shame Tails for being a little awkward and nerdy. He doesn't tell Knuckles to chill out or stop being so intense, or tell Shadow to be less brooding. He lets them be exactly who they are, because to him, that's what makes them great. Sonic believes that everyone should be free, and forcing a person to change goes against that person's personal freedom. For an autistic person who has spent their life feeling like they have to mold themselves into someone else just to be accepted, that kind of acceptance is life-changing. There's also another side to Sonic's philosophy, his empathy. He doesn't just fight for his own freedom, he fights for other people's freedom too. He believes in choice and letting people be who they are without fear or restriction. That's why he never tries to control his friends, why he always gives his enemies a second chance, and why he values the right to live freely above all else. He's not a hero because he follows rules or because he wants power. He's a hero because he refuses to let anyone be trapped. The world wants to chain you, but Sonic refuses to be caged. One of the most recurring themes in Sonic's stories is freedom versus imprisonment. Throughout the franchise, Sonic hates being trapped in any form, whether physically or metaphorically. In Sonic Adventure 2, when he's falsely imprisoned by the military, he's angrier than we've ever seen him. He's restless, frustrated, desperate to escape, not just because he's been wrongfully accused, but because the very idea of being contained is intolerable to him. In Sonic Colors, he fights to free the Wisps, who have been enslaved by Eggman. He doesn't hesitate. The second he sees that someone is being trapped against their will, he makes it his mission to set them free. Why does this theme of freedom matter so much? Because for many autistic individuals, the world itself often feels like a cage. Autistic people are frequently forced into rigid environments that don't accommodate their needs. Schools, workplaces, and even social spaces are often designed without neurodivergent people in mind. leaving them to struggle in systems that weren't built for them. They're told to sit still when they need to move, be quiet when they need to speak, endure bright lights and loud noises even when they're overwhelming. And if they express discomfort, they're told they're being too sensitive or making a big deal out of nothing. They're expected to adapt to the world, rather than the world adapting to them. Sonic would never stand for that. He doesn't tolerate people being forced into systems that don't fit them. If something is unfair, if a system is unjust, he fights back. He challenges authority, he refuses to be controlled, and most importantly, he always makes sure others have the freedom to live their lives the way they want to. And for an autistic person who has spent their life feeling constrained, Sonic's uncompromising freedom isn't just appealing, it's empowering. The world says you should give up. Sonic says to keep moving forward. Life is hard for autistic individuals. Even the smallest things like social interactions, unexpected changes, and sensory overload can feel exhausting. For many, every day is a battle just to exist in a world that wasn't built for them. But Sonic, he never stops moving. No matter how many obstacles he faces, no matter how many times he falls, he always gets back up and keeps running. He doesn't dwell on failure. He doesn't let setbacks break him. He lives in the now, focusing on what's ahead instead of what's behind. For an autistic person who struggles with rejection, burnout, or just the exhaustion of daily life, Sonic's resilience is deeply inspiring. He shows that it's okay to stumble, but it's not okay to give up. And the best part, he doesn't do it alone. Sonic may be independent, but he's not isolated. He has friends who accept him for who he is, who support him, and who want to see him succeed. He reminds autistic fans that you don't have to go through life alone. There are people out there who will understand and accept you, people who will celebrate your differences instead of trying to change them. And sometimes, all you need is one friend to believe in you. Just like how Tails needed Sonic, just like how Silver needed Blaze, just like how E102 Gamma needed Amy. Sonic tells autistic fans, you are not broken, you are not wrong, you are exactly who you're supposed to be. And for people who have spent their whole lives feeling like outsiders, that message means everything. So, when people ask why autistic individuals love Sonic, they might expect answers about fast gameplay and colorful visuals, but the truth runs much deeper. Sonic represents something more than just entertainment. Sonic is more than just a cool mascot with super speed. He's a symbol of individuality, self-acceptance, and resilience. He tells autistic people that they don't have to change who they are to be loved. They don't have to conform to be valued. They just have to keep running forward, exactly as they are. If this message has resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep running through this one-way dream all together.